Ben Drowned is one of the most well-known and praised gaming creepypastas of all time, and has even managed to earn several spin-off stories around its tale of a haunted copy of a Zelda game. The story is told by the person who played the haunted cartridge, as he posts his story on 4chan from September 7th to September 15th, 2010. He shared with the world his experience of witnessing The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, and the creepy events that followed soon after. The story begins with the man beginning his sophomore year of college. He is able to get a Nintendo 64, a controller, and a few games from his roommate. One day, he decides to look around town while there are numerous garage and yard sales going on. He's able to pick up more games and controllers, but the creepy tale starts when he finds a garage sale ran by an old man. This sale has little to no customers, but the college student ends up finding some pictures, one of which is a piece of fan art of Majora's Mask, the main magical object of the critically acclaimed Nintendo 64 Zelda game. In a huge coincidence, after talking a bit with the old man, he is handed a copy of the game soon after. But the odd thing here is that the cartridge is simply blank, with just the word Majora written on the back in a permanent marker. The old man starts to give the student some odd smiles and behaves rather strangely, but the student is still thankful for the gift, especially when he finds out it is being given to him for free. After going back to his room, he starts playing the game and notices a save file already present, simply called Ben. The student thinks it may be the name of the old man's grandson and sees that the profile has a good chunk of the game already complete. The copy he was given contains only a few minor glitches here or there, but other than that, it works magnificently. He creates a new game called Link, and starts to relive old nostalgic experiences, though as he plays through the game, he finds that some NPCs still call him Ben, even though the story is progressing on a differently named file. The student deletes the Ben file, only to find out that the apparent glitch still persists. Then afterwards, things start to get even more weird. When he returns to Majora, he tries to perform the popular fourth day glitch, which is a well-known exploit of the game in order to give players more time to complete the game. With only so much time left before the moon hits the earth, earning the student a game over, he attempts to activate the glitch by talking to the astronomer character just as the timer runs out. When he does this, instead of returning to the astronomer, he finds himself on top of the clock tower in the final boss fight with the Skull Kid with no music in the background. He is not supposed to be here at any point in the game. Noticing that Skull Kid is following him, the student is about to reset the console, but then the game gives him the message, "You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation." Knowing it is not possible this is a reprogrammed game, the student starts to wonder what he is playing. He is asked to go to another location, and he agrees to do so. He ends up in a very surreal version of Clock Tower. There are no NPCs present, textures are missing, the floors are non-existent, and even more creepy is the fact that the Song of Healing is playing in the background in reverse. The faint laugh of the happy mask salesman can also be heard from time to time. The student starts to feel really depressed about this lonely location he's in. He tries to get Link to play the ocarina to exit the realm, to of no avail. Zoning out and seeing as how he knows the game does not want him to leave, the student makes an attempt to drown Link into the pool to escape the realm. Then Link holds his head, and for a brief moment, the student saw the happy mask salesman smiling at him in a flash. Skull Kid's scream started playing in the back, and the normal game screen returned. The player found Link staring at the same statue of the main character from the song Elegy of Emptiness. The statue gave off a very haunting ambience to the student, and no matter where he went, the thing would always materialize behind Link and follow him. Feeling terrified and sweating intensely, the player tries to shake the statue off to of no avail. Link starts to do animations never seen before, including flailing his arms around rather spastically. He tries to hide in the back of Swordmaster Dojo, but he is only given a few seconds of relief. The game then shows the flash of the happy mask salesman again, then Link and the statue are looking at him, away from the walls. Link is then warped to an underground tunnel with the reversed music playing again. The statue follows him more aggressively, then everything fades to black. Link finds himself back on the clock tower facing Skull Kid again, with the moon just meters above them. But as he tries to fight the Skull Kid, no matter what he does, the game just kills his player off by making the main character burst into flames. This happens 3 times, and he even dies when he tries to play the Song of Time to try and escape. Skull Kid hovers over the body of Link, and the game gives him the message, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" When the student is kicked back to the title screen, he notices that his save file is gone. Instead of Link, he finds in its place another file called Your Turn. When the player selects it, he is right back at the twisted game over screen with Skull Kid. The student resets the console and finds the Ben save file he deleted previously restored for some unexplained reason. Selecting Ben puts him back in the same exact position where he was when he started playing the game for the first time. The following day, the student is traumatized, but eventually finds the energy and courage to continue. He seeks answers, but when he goes back to the house of the old man, he only finds out that he is moving, and asks a neighbor if he knows a person the elder remembered called Ben. All the information the student gets from the neighbor is a grim look on his face, and does discover there was a kid named Ben a while ago who lived in the neighborhood and suffered from some sort of accident. The student continues to play the game, and as he does so, he experiences more creepy occurrences. Strange noises play in the background of the title screen. Link's posture defigures to the point where his spine is extremely bent. More tracks begin to play in reverse. Location titles are changed, and the statue keeps following him. Characters in the game keep taunting him with the sayings of, "That won't do you any good," "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" and in one terrifying instance of a jump scare, when he gets Link to play the Song of Healing in front of the happy mask salesman, the statue, and the Skull Kid, an ear-piercing screech plays while the sky flashes, and Link bursts into flames. Creepy events continue to plague his playthrough of Majora, and as he starts to come to grips with this messed up copy, he shares his experiences more and more with the outside world thanks to the internet. While he is traumatized by these events, he admits he isn't the best person who can figure things out. As he closes off his story, the student states he plans to burn the cartridge and even says he talked with Cleverbot, an online website where users can communicate with a programmed AI that replies to questions, answers, and statements about Ben. Cleverbot seems to acknowledge the entity that is Ben and even shares a bit of dialogue about the person with the player. The student states that he doesn't want people to take his videos and images, and thanks everybody for the support. The player reveals himself to be the user named Jaduzable, and thanks everybody for his time. Hopefully to this day, he has not met with a terrible fate.